Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work, sincerity and truth. You got this article, once again, going into those, those brain chips, those brain implanted chips, under the skin, which, that's the mark of the beast, according to the scriptures, according to the Holy Bible. So this is on Analytics India Mag, and it says what Neuralink has a nemesis. PayPal mafia split over brain gains. It says what Peter Thiel is investing 10 million in BlackRock Neurotech, a rival company to Elon Musk's Neuralink. So yeah, they're doing the same thing as Neuralink, and you're gonna find out they've been doing it for longer, and they've already started human trials. So this thing's already out here, but coming from multiple sources. And yeah, okay. So it says, in a surprising move, Peter Thiel, co-founder of Palantir and a venture capitalist, has recently invested $10 million in BlackRock Neurotech, a company that does research similar to that of Elon Musk's Neuralink, mapping the brain. Peter Thiel, who co-founded PayPal with Musk in 1998, is backing BlackRock Neurotech with an undisclosed stake in the company. The company, which is headquartered in Utah, has been serving the neuroscience research community with hardware and software since 2008. So they've been on that for the longest. And that's fucking, 13 years, I guess now. So this is what, it's working on brain-computer interface devices which could help people improve people's cognitive abilities. Which is the same thing as Musk. Because, they're going to about how, you had the monkey moving the cursor with its mind. So these are the things, that are being researched, being looked into, and these things are going to get pushed out onto the public. It's going to start, because it's always starts with either what's the term I'm looking at, the civil servants, emergency services, and then it will expand to the general public. Same thing with the the vaccine, where it started with like nurses, doctors, police officers, firefighters getting it first. Then afterwards it was it spread to just the general public. So yeah, it's because it's the same thing with Neuralink, where it's like I said, people who don't have they can't what's the terminology? They can't they've like they basically can't normally write, or normally they can't write normally. They can't what do you call it? Speak sometimes as well, or just helping them interface if I can't move the arms properly and shit like that, to help them interface with computers and whatnot. That's the main kind of angle they're using it from. But it's been mentioned as well, like Elon Musk said it as well. It's like, trying to interface with AI and blah blah blah. So the angle of like, trying to become superhuman, trying to utilize the what is it, like the brain interface with these things, to try and even do things like altered carbon, where it's like, you can download your consciousness and move to it, essentially trying to attain some form of immortality. And these are the things that the elites would utilize for themselves, but then people on the bottom would not get the same opportunities, even if they even if they made it available, because it's that's yeah, it's like with what you call it. Like that's how the elites operate. They're thinking about their own best interest. They're like, even if they say like, oh, the research will be done, it's all, for the betterment of blah blah blah. It's comes down to cash money, man. That love of money. That's one of Esau's fatal weaknesses. So this is what okay, cognitive abilities. So this is BlackRock Neurotech CEO Marcus Gerhardt is in conversation with CNBC. No, in his conversations with CNBC, stated that BlackRock has been generating profits since 2015 despite the tech having a limited market. This was the first time the firm had taken any significant venture capital funding. Okay. Yeah, because the commercial viability, I think it comes up again a bit later in. But that's where they're kind of saying like, oh, is it going to be, viable product? And that's the thing, is that's where it becoming a more just a widespread, open to the full market consumer product comes in, and it's just getting it out to everyone. Because okay, so it says, what's BCI? Brain computer interfaces, or BCIs, which are only a few millimeters long, are designed to assist the disabled to restore the functionality of people with neuromuscular disorders such as ALS, cerebral bias, stroke, or spinal cord injury. When it comes to BCIs, Neuralink stands tall. The company has demonstrated its capabilities by making a monkey to play Pong using a chip plant in its skull. Yeah, so these guys are already ahead, and it shows. Yeah, they're really looking to kick this shit off, because it's like, to a certain, there's certain little things that they can do, and that's the thing, is this chip is gonna be pushed out. It's gonna be instituted to the degree where it's like, if you're not getting down with it, you're gonna be cut off, man. You ain't gonna be able to buy it, so you ain't gonna be able to do whatever you want. So there it's gonna be utilized to a certain extent. So it says what? Whereas BlackRock Neurotech has claimed success by testing its device on 28 patients across Europe, China, and the US. It's funny because, yeah, Europe, China, and the US are like the main spots where it's popping off. With the mark, with really all the different aspects, because like the monetary side of it, the like digitalized currency, that's popping off more in China, and it's like what, Europe and the US as well. They have developed more, the brain chips, implantable ones in the head, and as well in the body. Certain parts of Europe, mainly like the Scandinavian areas, where they've had it, where people are getting implants, getting implanted chips for work, for utilizing it for money, for various other things, and people are kind of being leaned towards it with like contactless watches, phones, all forms of devices, everything, just the whole Internet of Things as well attached to it. These things are all going to be drawers, that are gonna make people be like, yeah, jump on it. So BCIs acquire, analyze, and translate brain signals into commands that are linked to the devices performing desired actions. So I think I did a video on an article where they said, like, once they kind of can interpret certain things, then they'll be able to play with it. So that's why it's like everything seems like, oh, they're just, gonna be able to work out this is that, and then you'll be able to do things you wouldn't normally be able to do, and it's gonna be great, blah blah blah. But then it's just like with everything, it can be weaponized, it can be used as a tool of control, just as these things are already. So that's people are simple as hell. Even if even if you don't know the prophecies, you think like, okay, so why would you trust just some random company sticking some shit in your head when you know what the what the fuck they're looking to do with it. But hey, people are simple as hell. They're thinking they're gonna become like no, I was gonna say RoboCop or some shit. Just half man, half machine, and then just the brain's gonna be moving like like they got spiritual power. That's the dream, but all they're gonna have be is just a legendary slave for the elites. So that says the minutes just okay. The main objective of BCI is to help restore the functioning of people with a neuromuscular disorder. The miniature sensors are placed in areas where their activity needs to be monitored by the doctor. If a patient experiences difficult hand movements, the device would be implanted in premotor cortex. Once in place, electrodes attached to the device record brain activity, i.e. what the patient is thinking, which are then sent to a computer. Recently, a team of researchers at Stanford University connected a brain interface device to a paralyzed man's nervous system. The software quickly translated data from the BCI to convert people's handwriting thoughts into text on a computer screen. The man was able to write twice as fast as he could using an earlier method developed by the scientists from Stanford. The study was conducted by Jamie Henderson and Krishna Shenoy, who have worked together since 2005 on brain-computer interfaces. So yeah, this thing's been looked into for a real fucking long time. It's kind of nuts. Man said 2005, and I don't even remember hearing about this. Maybe it was being reported on, but that was probably just like very specialized circles. Like you wouldn't really catch it closer to the mainstream. But that shows there's a lot of things going on, that's as well. It's like when the prophecies come out, people scoff. Second Peter 3, where it says there'll be scoffers, man. There's gonna be scoffers in the last days. But what? There's shit going down which you don't even fucking know has been going on. And Esau have all kinds of shit, waiting in the wings. So it's real funny. It's funny as hell. So this is what there are human patients using our implants. Yeah, okay. Using our implants and technology to accomplish things directly with their minds that were unimaginable 10 years ago. So yeah, they've had progress, and then as well, it's like with obviously for them it took them like 10 years. But Elon Musk, I think it was from like 2018, so like 2-3 years, maybe 2017. It's but nowhere near that length of time. The shit's quick, sped up. So it really shows the times, man. How everything's popping up, everything's moving quick. Revelation 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yeah, so that's that mark, that implantable chip that's going to be under the skin. You ain't going to be able to buy a soul. You ain't going to be, essentially, you ain't going to be able to participate in society without receiving it. And that's, hey, it's going to be pushed out on a mass scale, and there's going to be a heavy level of adoption of it. Among Jake, hey, the majority of Jake are going to be jumping on there. Because why? They're in love with this place. They love and desire to continue to be here. So they'll do the utmost for it. They don't see, a kingdom to come. They don't see Yahushua's return. They don't see America being destroyed in the future. These are things that are not a reality to them. They don't understand these things are a certainty to come. All they see is, even if they can see like, oh, some mess is coming, they're thinking, but afterwards everything's gonna be fine. But it's gonna be found out that it's not gonna be so. All that peace and safety that people are putting their trust in, it's sudden destruction's gonna come. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.